Does anyone else wish to make any comments? Senator Archibald.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, it's been 4 years. I haven't missed a day of the Senate. I come to every committee. I engage everybody on the issues. I ask tough questions. I take positions that sometimes aren't popular. I'm speaking as loud as I can, so if you can't hear me, I apologize. I have two schools of thought on it. One is my legal analysis, where, frankly, I side entirely with Senator Lombardi and Senator Conley, because I've had an opportunity to take a look at the Supreme Court case that we've been provided. And I was pretty vocal the night of the hearing about whether or not there was a council resolution, because if there's a council resolution, the council is telling us that they want or don't want a piece of legislation. We have to be respectful of that, for the most part. And I certainly, for one, am. So I have the legal hemisphere where I analyze this thing, and I see that it would create a very dangerous precedent for us to act as a, if you will, a Board of Appeals on tax issues when there's Supreme Court precedent to the contrary. Regardless of your emotions, that's the current law. And then there's the other hemisphere of me, which sees this group of people out in this room and realizes that they want more of a say at the table. And having grown up on a farm and being what I classify as a farm boy, relating to a rural area like Barville, I feel it. You can feel the empathy, if you're not empathetic or if you can't feel your concerns, then you're not a human being. So, and I want to echo the sentiment of my brothers and sister with respect to Senator Fogarty. I mean, he's been here for you all along. He's put in a tough piece of legislation. It certainly hasn't made him any friends on one side, but he did it because he cares. And so I think his actions speak for themselves. It's a very tough vote for me, because part of me entirely sides with you emotionally. But at the end of the day, it's a legal decision for me more than anything else. So I'm not, if you look at this like a continuum, I'm not way over here, this is an easy one and you guys don't matter. And I'm not way over here with you 100% sold just out of emotion that that's the thing to do. I hovered on this. And I don't ride the pine. I'm a guy that makes up his mind. And whether you like me or not, at the end of the day, I make my decision. But for this one, truly, it's very difficult for me. But I have to decide on the precedent that's before us with respect to the Supreme Court's holding, and say that if we were to pass this legislation out of committee and it were to pass on the floor, I would feel that there'd be a suit coming fairly quickly in line with the Supreme Court precedent, and that we'd be creating a unconstitutional precedent through the Senate. So for those reasons, I can't vote to send it out of committee. Thank you.
Are there any other questions or comments?